Well, happy Halloween and happy Samhain Eve. We have made it to day 31 of the Samhain Sessions on October the 31st. Today's theme is sacred closure. As this powerful time ended, specific rituals sent spirits back and restored normal reality. This wasn't harsh banishment, but loving release, like saying goodbye to relatives after a visit, knowing they'll return next year. Dawn bells rang to announce the ending. Loud noises, drums, pots, shouts, cleared lingering energies. Houses were thoroughly cleaned, sweeping from west to east, the direction that spirits travel. Every corner was reached, every threshold swept. The sweepings were burnt or buried at Crossroads, not thrown into regular trash. Windows and doors were sealed with new protection marks, salt, iron, sacred symbols, drawn in ash. Fires were banked or extinguished completely. Leftover food was distributed to the poor or left at Crossroads for spirits making their final journey. Costumes and masks were carefully stored, not casually discarded. They held power from their use and might be needed next year. People performed cleansing rituals, bathing in running water, jumping over dying embers and walking through smoke. Children were especially careful, cleansed, checked for fairy marks or attachments. Animals were blessed and checked. Fields were walked to ensure no spirit lingered. Normal life resumed gradually. For 3 days, people were gentle with each other, understanding everyone was adjusting from the intensity. Dreams were especially significant during this transition. Unexpected visitors might be spirits taking human form for final messages. Signs and omens were watched for confirmation that the ritual had worked. This is how the old ways honored the turning of the year, not with fear but with respect, not with consumption but with connection, not with artificial scares but with genuine awe of the vast mystery that surrounds and includes us. The thinning veil reveals not just ghosts, but our place in the infinite cosmos, where death and life dance together eternally. Crossroads were where worlds intersected. Standing at midnight, the first sound heard predicted the coming year. Bells meant weddings or funerals, horses meant travel, silence meant peace or isolation. Offerings left there went directly to spirits. Different crossroads had different powers: 3-way for healing and blessing, 4-way for decisions and spirit contact, and 5-way, dangerously opening multiple worlds. The Puka appeared, offering rides and granting prophecy, but might curse madness. Each crossroad has its own spirit, requiring respect. And this final message for the Sowhan Sessions on this day where the veil between worlds is the thinnest is from one of my favorite decks, the Witch Oracle card deck, or Women in Total Control of Herself. And the card that has been selected is the Lady of Perpetual Rebirth. Death comes for all of us, but this isn't a death card, it's a rebirth card. It's an invitation to clean and clear out what needs to end in order to welcome the new. What ideas or beliefs have become weighty, overwhelming, outdated? What thoughts no longer fit you? What convictions cause exhaustion or illness when you embody them? Our Lady of Perpetual Rebirth is here to usher out the old and midwife the new. Pay special attention to your dreams. There are signs and symbols showing themselves to you right now that will indicate what wants to be loosened and released. The new vision, new awareness, new life that is encircling you right now will also send you strong signals. Pay attention. Listen, watch, observe. This is a time to let go of what no longer serves. A witch can welcome death with the same enthusiasm a moth displays when flying into fire. She hurls herself forward to her own endings, knowing her next beginnings live inside the fire of her passion, the heat of longing calling her forward. Amazing message to finish this 31 days of sacred wisdom. Thank you so much for joining me on these 31 days of the Sowhan Sessions, sharing with you the Celtic wisdom that has transformed into today's Halloween. As we complete our journey through these 31 days of Samhain wisdom, we stand where our ancestors stood, at the threshold between worlds, between what was and what will be. We've walked ancient paths, learned sacred technologies. Our modern world has largely forgotten. These teachings remind us that we are not separate from nature, but woven into its cycles. Our ancestors are not gone, but transformed. Every ending carries the seed of beginning. Every darkness holds the promise of light. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Every soul cake baked, every silent supper shared, every name spoken into sacred fire, these were never empty rituals, but living bridges between worlds. When you threw your grief into the Samhain flames, when you jumped the dying embers for purification, when you carried new fire home to relight cold hearths, you were remembering the ancient contract between the living and the dead, the promise that love transcends every veil. The old woman who read patterns in apple peels, who saw futures in mirror-darkened rooms, who kept the last harvest sheath safe through winter, they live in you now. When you stand at the crossroads feeling the pull of multiple futures, when you awake from dreams that taste of prophecy, when you know without knowing, that's their gift awakening in you. The veil may thicken again, the spirits return to their realm, ordinary reality resume its solid appearance. But you now carry the knowledge that things are not always as they seem. Thin places remain for those who know where to look. As the wheel of the year continues its eternal turning, may these ancient wisdoms light your way through the dark half of the year. May you remember that you are part of an unbroken chain stretching back through countless generations. May you honor both your seen and unseen companions on this journey. The cosmic door closes gently now, but it never locks. Those who approach with respect, with proper knowledge, with open hearts, will always find ways to commune across the veil. The ancient ways are not dead, but sleeping, waiting for those brave enough to remember, to practice, to pass them forward to future generations. May you walk gently between the worlds, honoring all things. May you remember the magic isn't something that once was, but something that always is, waiting just beneath the surface of the ordinary, ready to emerge when approaching with wisdom and reverence. The wheel turns, the ancestors watch, the old ways endure. Blessed Samhain, until the veil thins again.